We are proceeding in our programming by looking at the structure of C program. Structure of C program. When I talk of structure of C program, it's all about what a C program should be. Now, one, we have what we call preprocessor directives. Preprocessor directive. This word pre stands for before or coming before. Preprocessor directives, example, include, define. And remember, where we see include, there is a hash symbol. And even where we say define, there is a hash symbol. But later, we shall be learning what it is. Meanwhile, you may not be so much worried, because all that is about coding. Coding. It's a coded term. Then, we shall also, in our program, have what we call functions. Functions. You will understand what are functions. We also have what we call keywords. Keywords. Clearly, we shall understand what the keywords are. Then, we have variables and data types. Variables and data types. And finally, we have character symbols. Character symbols. So, it means that when you write your program, when you are writing program which are instructions meant to guide the computer on what to do, your instructions or your program code within, you will have what you call preprocessor directives, you will have functions, you will have keywords, variables and data types, and consequently you will have character symbols. Character symbols. Now, briefly we can look at what are preprocessor directives. What are preprocessor directives? The preprocessor is a collection of special statements called directives that are executed at the beginning of the compilation process. Compilation process. Now, at times these terms may stand in your way, failing to get something very important. When we talk of the term preprocessor, we mean it is something that comes in before the processing is taking place. So, you have the particular kind of files that need to be loaded before the processor or the machine starts working on your program. So, it is called preprocessor. Then, when you call or they are called directives, say preprocessor is a collection of special statements called directives, meaning that they are called preprocessor directives because they direct, they are instructing. But these kind of instructions are loaded before. That's why they are called preprocessor. But you shall keep on understanding what they are used when you are writing program. So I can read that the C preprocessor is a collection of special statements called directives that are executed at the beginning of the compilation process. So it is at the beginning of compilation process. What is compilation? Compilation is that act of translating a program written by a programmer into a level that the machine can understand it clearly. And that process is called compilation. Compilation process. Now, the most common preprocessor directives are include. Now, when we are including these files called preprocessor directives, we use this symbol hash. You write hash and say include. Include. when you are loading the files called preprocessor directives. Then the other preprocessor directive is hash define. But later on, when we are learning programming, we shall practice what are these kind of definition are being done in that level of programming or of writing program instructions, and we call them preprocessor directives. But we don't only end on include and define. We have several others preprocessor directives. Now, the hash include is used to include header files that contain functions which programmers will need to use in a program code. Now, because these preprocessor files determine which kind of functions we are going to use ahead of the program, then they need to be loaded before. They need to be loaded before. That's why they are called preprocessor directives, because they have to come before, such that when the processor is starting to work, it has a clue of which kind of tools that are going to be used. But more of it will be understood when you are dealing with the codes. Here it is a mere explanation, but when you are dealing with the codes, you will actually understand very well.